Okay, and I will paste the agenda into the chat one more time, this time with numbers, new and improved. And so let's get started. Our first item is the signage for the campus bins project, which we partnered with Christina and Jay on. And if you've been walking around campus at all recently, you have probably noticed that the signs are up. I think I've seen them on every bin that is out there, which is fantastic. They seem to be sized pretty good. They work, they bring you to the video, and they look pretty good too. So good job, everybody. And we'll see how long that lasts. And I guess a better way to put it is we'll see how long the items that are being recycled, how long that stays factual. And that would be probably the reason we would have to change it in the future is if we have other items and we need to adjust that. So Jay, I wanted to thank you since you're here and listening in. Thank you for getting those up and running. I really appreciate it, as does everybody else. And if anybody else has anything to add on the signs, now is your opportunity.
I'm just
Sean.
so glad they are finally up. It finally
Yeah,
happened. So it's
me
good
too,
to see them
Jay.
around.
Yeah, I think we were working on that for like over a year, right?
It was a long time. And I mean, I had artwork and there was some back and forth, but it was getting them actually printed and hung up that took a good bit of time, but I'm glad that they're finally up.
Yeah, me too. Thank you once again, Jay. I really appreciate your help on that. Hopefully we can use them for a good long time, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, so our next item on the agenda is the battery recycling. Cody, I don't know if there's any updates. If there's not, that's okay, but this is your item.
No real update at this point. I can't remember what the last update at the last meeting was. I should have gone back and watched the video. But we are going to have to move forward with our original plan of what used to be a green box, but now they've rebranded to something else, simply because they accept all types of batteries. And so we're in the process of getting them added as a vendor so we can get them invoiced and get a couple on order on this year's budget. And then hopefully have them installed for the end of the semester, or at least over the summer and into fall.
Sweet, sounds good. Thank you, Cody, for your work on that. And I see Deb has also joined us. Thank you for joining us, Deb. All right, next item is Campus Race to Zero Waste, also known as Recyclemania. All right, so I meant to do this before we started. I was gonna take a quick look and see what the standings are. I can tell you that the competition is over. I think it ended a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So they're in the official review period where they review everyone's data, make sure it's accurate. I can tell you that the stats during the review period do frequently change. So I think there was one year where, like, going into the review period, we were like fifth or sixth, and then we ended up second. That was a wonderful surprise. And of course, their website is going super slow right now. But I can tell you that last I checked, we were in 8th place in the diversion category. And numbers weren't so hot. Some of our lowest numbers in quite a while. I don't think we're number one in Massachusetts. I think that was the case last year too. I think we were number two. I forget who had beat us. If their page would load, I would be more than happy to tell you. But yeah, that'll be updated on our Recyclemania Campus Race to Zero Waste website at some point. Maybe their page won't load because they're busy updating those things. And Sean, I want to thank you for your help and also recognize your question.
Sure. I was just curious if you had a sense, or if we have a sense of why the numbers were lower this year. Like, if just spitballing, if we know why, or had any theories or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can tell you just based on my observations of the previous year. It looks like Dave had the same question in the chat. Is well, there was their page is slowly loading. Oh, now I can actually get a rank. Great. I can tell you that I think a lot of factors are involved. Obviously, not having a cafeteria anymore, and the model in the cafe is very different. We're also not composting anymore. That is a huge difference. As far as I know, last I asked a month or two ago, we don't have a composting vendor. I know one of the vendors that I had given the name to facilities, I see they're composting here at Williams and they're doing a bang up job of it. So that vendor might be worth looking into. It's called something like Joey's Compost or something to that effect. But maybe what I'll do is I'll re-forward that list to Christina and just to reassess because like if there's somebody who is already in the Berkshires who is already doing composting at a college, maybe we can actually do it a little bit easier than our perception is. I know I talked to Tammy a lot about this. Contamination is a big issue. However, we did it before. I have a feeling that we could do it again, even with the changes on campus. However, that's for the folks who actually work in that realm to actually determine and to discuss. Best we can do as Green Team is kind of point them in the right direction. The Recyclemania stats did load up. It looks like we are currently number 7 with a 57.63 diversion rate. And let me see where that falls into our historic waste to zero waste. So what did I say? I said 57.6. So yeah, that's down from last year, another 3%. We've been basically just kind of going down. And I think the composting is a big reason as to why. Also, the Kusavitsky dumpster was very, very full all the time, which is often the case. That dumpster is usually very full, but it seemed to be more so than in previous years. So that's just more trash, more stuff that isn't being diverted. But I think composting would make the biggest difference. So that's going to be my action item is I'm going to send that list over to Discover Books. Last year, we were also able to include a bunch of Discover Books. This year, our contact hasn't been getting back to us. So Cody and Sean, that's something we'll kind of discuss after the meeting is maybe we need to reach out to corporate to get some actual information on what's going on. Maybe our contact just doesn't work there anymore. That sort of thing happens. Okay, so I've got my note for what I need to do on that. Any more questions? Anything anybody else would like to add about Recyclemania or cycling on campus? Okay, I'm not seeing anything. So moving right along, our next item is the community cleanup this spring. As folks may know, the Green Team gets together usually it's late April on a Saturday, and we do a community cleanup. We've done some local schools, some local parks. And in one of our previous meetings, we decided to reach out to Crosby Elementary School. And I did hear back from them. We are welcome. We have their permission to do it. I'm trying to figure out some more details about it. There will be an email sent to everybody on the Green Team as we get a little closer to it. But right now, it's looking like our scheduled date is Saturday, April 27th at 10 a.m. We'll just meet at Crosby Elementary, probably in one of their parking lots. We'll clean up some of their campus. And I did notice just driving past it on my way to BCC that there's quite a bit of trash and stuff that is kind of hanging around. So thank you. I just got a flash drive delivery. Good old sneaker net. I love it. So that will be our community cleanup. And the rain date will be the Saturday after, which I think is like the 4th, May 4th. So again, hopefully it won't rain, but that will be our plan. And no problem, Sean. Of course, there'll be a recording as usual for if you want to catch up on what you missed. So any other thoughts on the campus cleanup? Oh, and Tammy, since you're here, I'll mention you've helped in the past, so I'll be reaching out to you again to see if we can get some bags, maybe some gloves. And that's pretty much all we need is just some bags to bag up the trash in. But I'll reach out to you offline about that, just a heads up. Okay, so next item is Campus Green Up Day. This is something that we used to do back in the day. And this is Cody's item. I can see he turned his camera off. Maybe he's got a question over at the desk over there. So maybe we'll come back to this when Cody's back around. But yeah, rather than go too deeply into it, we'll come back to that. And our next item coming back to the Campus Green Up is Earth Day event. Green Team has always done an Earth Day event. In the past several years, we've gotten together with student activities, student engagement, I think is what they wanted me to call them, and done an Earth Day event. So this year, that event is going to be Tuesday, April 23rd in the connector. I'm sure you'll see all kinds of emails about this because something really cool is going to happen. They're going to have a bunch of birds of prey from 11 o'clock to noon. I don't really know what that entails. So if anyone has any information on the birds of prey, feel free to share with us, but it sounds pretty cool. Okay. Doesn't sound like anybody knows, but we'll have a green team table there. I think Cody has agreed to play some of our drone videos because we have a gorgeous campus. And if anybody else has any ideas for anything they would like to do or sit at the green team table and you know, be an expert on bees and pollinators. You know, if Roberta was here, I'm sure she would be happy to do that. But if there's anything you want to do to help, please, by all means, reach out and let us know. I see Erica just popped in. Erica, we're talking about the Earth Day event. I don't know if you can unmute, but like we're wondering if you know anything about these birds of prey that might be coming.
Yes, hi, sorry I'm late. If you all can hear me. So Tom Riccardi is of the Massachusetts Wildlife Birds of Prey Rehabilitation Center. He's been doing it for 50 years. He's going to bring 6 to 7 raptors to the building and show us how he cares for them and then eventually releases them back into the wild. Those that cannot be released, I think Tina has the flyer. I think, mates them or something to help build back the population. So he does this out of passion and he's a professional. And I think, you know, students have engaged with this in the past. So Tom Tyning had recommended him, saying that it's always very popular.
That is so cool and so
Yeah.
much more than any of the rest of us knew about this event. So thank you,
Awesome.
Erica, for your perfect timing and being able to fill us in on that. So again, if anybody has any ideas what they would like to contribute from a green team perspective, I have too many jobs, so I won't be able to be there. Too much stuff going on. So unfortunately I can't be there, but Cody's volunteered to help. I'm sure if Roberta can be there, she'll help. But if anybody else would like to help, honestly, just show up. I'm sure that Cody and whoever's there will be more than happy to take your assistance. Right. Anything else on the Earth Day event?
Did we talk about Plant Connector?
Sure. Yeah, go. Is that part of the event?
Yeah, so I guess I can just go through the list of things because people keep sharing events. But the Plant Connector, I've been in contact with Emily. She's going to have 2 activities for us. One is a cutting exchange. So you can bring plants to be propagated, and then there will be note cards so that you can write the story if like this plant is particularly temperamental or this plant is named Fred. She wants to bring some human component to it. And then we're going to do a seed bomb activity. So you take native wildlife, put it in clay and mud, and then she's going to go over the history of how we've neglected urban landscapes and how this activity is almost a form of activism and how we reclaim these spaces by reintroducing wildlife to help our pollinators to beautify our urban landscapes. And how it really does require us as humans to really like throw them and that impact. So that'll be exciting. I know that Mackenzie Shreve, our food security coordinator, has been in contact with local farmers. We have not confirmed, but the hope is that they can come and talk about the work that they're doing. She has a friend that makes eco-friendly laundry detergent, so she was looking into sustainability products in that way. We're hoping to launch a salad bar. So lots of good things. And then the green up cleaning our campus activity should be really exciting as well.
Yeah. In fact, Erica, if nobody has anything else about Earth Day, you gave a great summary, and we were actually that was going to be our next item is back to Cody for the campus green up day. And I will just let folks know some of the history of this is kind of pre-COVID. There used to be one day, sometimes 2 days in the spring where folks would just pick up a rake, put on some gloves and kind of clean up the campus. And I think we're trying to bring that back. So Cody, I will hand it off to you because I have your name next to this item.
Sure, yeah, that is essentially it. Facilities reached out about wanting to sort of revitalize that now, and the plan is to have facilities provide all the resources, tools, materials, anything that anybody would need, as well as instruction for folks who might not be as clear on what they're going to be tasked with doing. Sort of like a morning type event where folks can show up, get assigned out to a project that resonates with them, whether it's raking, mulching, any kind of other things, and then sort of go back in like 30-minute or hour-long shifts and just sort of help green up the campus a little bit in the spring. Current plan, as far as dates go, is either going to be that or Tuesday, the Earth Day celebration there in the morning, or Wednesday as a rain date because a lot of it would be outside. And I believe they're also working to get, in the past, there was like, free lunch for folks who helped and volunteered. They're working on setting up meal coupons and vouchers through the current catering on campus for anybody who does volunteer to get some free food from Burke's Catering there. So that's where it is now. It's still being sort of planned, but it looks like it's going to be happening. And as far as like the green teams involved, we have a lot of folks who'd probably be interested in helping out and volunteering for part of that. Administratively, I believe they might be looking for somebody to hang out at the sort of the central hub where people are going to be assigned out and greet people and just sort of talk with folks. So we may have like a sign up for something like that, depending on what everybody else is doing. But that's about it.
Awesome. That sounds really cool. Sounds like if it happens same day, it could be a really busy day on campus, which is both good and challenging. And also more of a bummer that I won't be able to join you. Like I said, I got too many jobs and too many credits I'm teaching, too many things going on. All right. Anything else that anybody would like to add about the campus green up day? I'm really excited to see that back in the green team's wheelhouse.
Did anyone talk about the eco-themed scavenger hunt?
No, I don't know anything about
Okay,
this. Is this another Earth
so
Day event or is this something
it's
else?
so I know that Jeremy and Tom were working on QR codes, but we're
Oh,
not in a place
yes.
to launch
Mhm.
them. So we're gonna do
Yes.
a small pilot on the 23rd, where there are gonna be posters highlighting the natural beauty of the campus, and each poster will contain a piece of a puzzle. The puzzle is a quote from an environmentalist. So as students find each poster, they'll piece together the quote. When they have the full quote, they can stop by student engagement and be entered into a raffle to win a prize. But the goal is to, maybe get them out there, look at our beautiful campus. And this
Awesome.
will be like, yeah, it's a pilot for the QR codes, but there will be no QR codes because we need to do that one correctly.
Awesome. That is so super cool. That's really exciting. Sounds like a lot is planned for that day. Excellent. Okay. Anything else about the Earth Day or anything else? Like Erica, looks like you're out of stuff, but if you do have more stuff, now's your opportunity.
The PEBE Botanical Ensemble by Linda Mary. I think
Oh,
they're either
yes.
dancing or singing plants. I actually don't know, but there will be plants.
Erica, I can't wait for you to experience it. But what does Linda call it again?
Phytoeuphonia Botanical Ensemble.
I love it. I love it. It makes it sound like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra or something. But I usually just call it her jazz plants, and they are delightful. They are one of the highlights for me. Um, I love Linda in her plant orchestra, I guess would be a far more accurate term than jazz plants. It is kind of jazzy if you've seen it before, in the sense that it's a bit unstructured, but not. I love it. Great. Okay, cool. Sounds like we've got quite a day planned on the April 23rd. That's amazing. Okay, our next item, if there is nothing else on that, is the project that we are working on with facilities to try to get people to share more kitchen spaces. So I know Deb is here. She was working on that. And Tina is here. Yeah, you keep moving around my screen, but you were working on that too. So I'll give folks a really quick summary of where that was. I know we had a pretty um, a pretty like truth bringing discussion in our last meeting about should the green team bring forth policy. So we kind of went back to the folks who are in leadership and facilities and you know reminded them this wasn't really a green team thing in the first place, but we're happy to help with the education. And it sounds like we're back to that part again now. So Deb, I saw you unmuted if you want to add anything to this.
Yeah, we aren't looking to change any policies, anything like that. We just want people to be educated on what the electrical use of the appliances that they have may be doing in their area. Maybe we can condense some, so not every office needs to have a toaster oven, that kind of thing. And we're not looking to take anything away from anyone or tell people what they can and cannot do. But if there's any questions anybody has about appliances that they may be thinking about bringing in, if it may be too much of a load where they're plugging it in, that kind of thing, they can come to us and we'd be happy to take a look at what they have. And if they have any questions about things they already have, we're happy to walk over there and take a look at that too.
Great. And I think I saw Dave unmuted and now his hand is up. So Dave, it's to you.
Yeah, I guess I have a little bit of a problem with that only because I think that there does need to be a policy change. You know, I think that certainly educating people is a part of the overall equation, but you know, the last thing a lot of people are going to want to do is to streamline their miniature kitchenette that they might have in their office area. You know, if they use a lot of those small appliances on a daily basis, you know, and they become used to having them. I think that unless there's a little bit more of a, you know, a change made, is that you may find, you know, a small handful of people, you can probably count on one hand, that may read it, understand it, agree with it, and say, okay, I don't really need this. But I think overall, you know, they're really going to, they're not going to feel that they need to make that sacrifice. And then the other problem that you're going to run into is that, you know, if we do get new hires, and with those hires coming on board, you know, there's really no ground to say that they can't have the same appliances in their space, because obviously it's going to be, well, gee, my neighbor, my office, or the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 offices next to me all have Keurigs or microwaves or the mini cube refrigerators. So, you know, I think that, and again, I'm not necessarily saying that it's the green team that needs to be, you know, taking the lead on this, but I think overall that the school, you know, needs to be a little more assertive on this, and, you know, probably reviewing all of the information. And even if it starts out at taking modest steps, you know, maybe it's a, you know, we make the determination that each office can only have appliances that cumulatively reach a certain threshold of what the load is, or, you know, actual number of appliances that, okay, every office can have up to 2 appliances, you know, something that you're not having a wholesale across the board um, change, or saying that you flat out can't have them. Yeah, it's going to be something that's going to be a little more productive by having a creative limit on them.
Dave, I totally hear what you're saying, and you probably speak more from wisdom than anybody on this, because you know, this is your trade by profession, is as an electrician. So yeah, I mean, maybe we still have a couple more green team meetings left this semester, this academic year. So I know Tina had her hand up as well, but kind of the way I'm thinking that might make the most sense to proceed is maybe the green team makes a vote to say we support some policy. We don't need to say exactly what that policy should be, but maybe that's something we talk about in our next meeting. And I'm going to discuss that with some of the people on this project and the leadership, and we'll kind of see where that goes, because totally hear what you're saying. And the green team kind of signed up to do an educational piece, so it's kind of weird for us to form the policy, especially since we're not coming from an area of wisdom like you are on this, Dave. So we're going to come back to this, and I think Tina, if you have anything to add, I think we're going to continue on our educational component, though.
I do have one thing.
Yeah.
And I'm in an awkward space because I don't have my microphone and I'm at the school. And so
Yep. I
there
see a
might be-
photocopier behind
Yeah,
you. So
yeah.
yeah,
because
absolutely.
the other room was blowing loud noises. So, well, what Dave said framed the situation. And the only reason I had my hand up, and I agree, I like, it is two separate directions, right? It's green team education, and then it's perhaps deeper policies, which a lot of us on the green team probably have a lot of thoughts on people bringing appliances to work, but that's neither here nor there. My only thing I was going to add is that we have a draft. The draft is kind of simple, and I don't want things to be too long, but I have just kept some wording in addition to an educational statement that I created. I did get some wording from Krista Gray that talked about issues with heating and cooling and what they should do. And what I was going to say is that something that Deb said, she said that if something like if people had questions about the wattage of something or wanted to know something, feel free to come in. Yeah, I'm just sorry I'm here for the moment. I guess I would not want to create the wording on my own. And if someone from facilities wanted to make a sentence that said, if you have questions about wattage, or if you have questions about, I mean, even opening that door sort of says it's okay to bring your appliances. So maybe we hold off. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to create that wording on our draft. And I figure I could just keep some go-to statements. And one of the statements is what Deb said, is like, if people had questions, kind of what they would do about wattage and appliances, that we might want to have a statement that I could just save on our draft.
I think that's very doable. And soon after this meeting ends, there will be some emails so we can plan our next steps. Also doing some quick math, I'm seeing that our next green team meeting would be on that 23rd, the Tuesday, that all that stuff is being planned. So I'm probably going to reschedule the next green team meeting for another day when there's not so many other things going on. But to be continued on this, we're going to keep working on the educational piece in conjunction with facilities, getting some language from facilities. So anything anybody else wants to add on this? Deb, I see you're still unmuted if you have anything on your mind.
We are definitely for educating everyone on what Dave was talking about, and wattage and everything like that. I'm not sure who needs to bring attention to it, if it comes from facilities or from the green team or wherever. That's obviously not up to me, but
Yeah.
We're definitely happy to give you input, whoever.
Sounds good. So to be continued on this, and I will add as well, I don't think this is a problem unique to BCC. In fact, I have a coworker right around the corner who has a whole office set up in his kitchen with Keurigs and microwaves. You open a door, turn a corner, and there's a whole shared kitchenette right there. So like, makes me wonder, like, are there two kitchens running off of the same like breaker? Like, if my point is, this is not a BCC problem. It's a people problem, and I think this exists in pretty much every workplace. Yeah. Okay, great. So we'll keep working on that, to be continued on that. I did see that Roberta popped in, and Roberta, I don't know if you are in a place where you can unmute and tell us what you might be working on, but it is your part of the agenda if you can.
Hi, guys. Thank you to Cody, who had a brilliant way for helping me get into this meeting because you know that darn BCC password thing creeps up on you all the time and you can't even get into your own email. So I've been staying in touch with a lot of different people at BCC, checking up on the garden. As some of you probably know, I did have a major, huge surgery. But the garden seems to be doing fine. People are taking pictures and sending me pictures. I've been sorting out seeds that we got from the pollinator garden. So anybody who hasn't already got seeds, or if you want more flower seeds for pollinator plants, let me know. I've been packaging them up and just popping them in the mail to people. I haven't got a system to give you like a list of exactly what I have. I just kind of give everybody everything. Or if they like pink, they get pink, or if they like purple, they get purple, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a lot of good seeds to be had for that. Up on the other thing with the grant that we're working out with Gina Steck, I've stayed in touch with Gina Steck about things, but we're still working on the measurements for the Hoffman garden out at the front. Cody's going to be working on that. We need to give her really exact square footage. The measurements we already had done weren't quite enough, so there needs to be more. I think that's about it for right now. And like I said, don't be shy. If you want flower seeds, I've got tons of them, and just send me an email, or better yet, a Microsoft Teams text, and let me know, and then I'll just pop them in the mail to you. I think that's it for now.
Awesome, Roberta. I'm so glad that you could join us today. So
Yeah, thanks to Cody. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
that was our last item on the list, and it's now to the open topics discussions from the group. If anybody has anything at all they would like to talk about. I know we got a lot going on, so but we do still have plenty of time if somebody has a topic they would like to discuss.
And I just wanted to quickly point out, I haven't been on campus a lot, but one thing I wanted to point out is the success of the Discovery Books thing. I'm assuming it's still going great. There'd be a lot of times when Logan and I were out in the garden, and the guys were coming to empty that box really consistently and really a lot. That was, in the warmer months, but like I said, I had surgery and I haven't been on campus a lot, but I just thought at some point we should highlight or point out to people like how great it is, and also just remind new people that we have that box there.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
absolutely.
all.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe that's something that the folks who are at the green team table at the Earth Day event can talk about. I did have one other real quick thing that I'd like to add that is Earth related, and that is solar eclipse on Monday. So if the weather is permitting and you have the proper protective eyewear to view it, I think it's about 3:20 something in the afternoon. Kind of wander outside and see something that we won't see. I guess the next one is another 9 years away. So here, I think it's not a total eclipse. I think it's like 70 or 80%, something like that. But still, it's going to get darker and weird. And if you are one of the lucky few, I think Tom Tining's taking a trip to Texas, is what I heard, to see the eclipse, where hopefully they'll have less guarantee of cloud coverage, because if it's cloudy, who knows what we'll see, but it'll still get dark. But something super cool that's coming up Earth related. All right. Last call for anybody else to add anything that they wanted to add. Going once. Going twice. All right. Thank you, everybody, for yet another really amazing green team meeting. Folks who are working on projects, keep an eye on your email, because we'll be reaching out that way and getting some more work done. And like I said, keep an eye on your email too, because I'm going to reschedule the next meeting since it's on the 23rd, that date when all that stuff is. All right. Thank you, everybody. And I really appreciate your help. Have a great day. Have a great Earth Day.